Now, when it came to his tombs, he had a traditional tomb at North Saqqara for himself and his family. And those traditional tombs were the vertical shaft leading into a burial chamber. Then the upper chapel was for the family. So the burial chamber was very big and it would just house a coffin, and it would be used as a family mausoleum. So the shaft would be sealed, and then as different family members died, they opened up the shaft and they lowered and stored the coffin in with the other relatives. The upper chapel is for the annual festival to remember the deceased and all the other relatives buried in the burial chamber, but it's open to everyone to come and view the beautiful pictures on the wall. And you can see Horemheb as commander of the army, receiving gold necklaces and things like that, and also his name appears in those chapels. Now, for a successful burial, you needed a secure tomb. Your body had to be uncorrupted, so it had to be mummified. That was the second. The third one is your name had to be recorded in the tomb somewhere in either hieroglyphs, in hieroglyphs, because remember, hieroglyphs is magical. You write something down, it will happen. So if you wrote your name in hieroglyphs, it'd be forever, 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 forever. And there had to be provisions in the tomb. Now, they're not naive to believe that if you put foodstuffs in a tomb, it's going to stay fresh for a spirit. So they had pictures of offering tables on their chapels, and those magical foods, those magical pictures would feed the spirit. So there was everything there in North Saqqara for Horemheb and his family members to make that nighttime journey to the afterlife through the duat, and then come back to that tomb inside that burial chamber, recuperate on the goods which were recorded in those upper chapels, and make the journey back to the afterlife. So that's the North Saqqara tomb. So when Horemheb came to the throne, it was going to be important for him to be buried in the Valley of the Kings. So the King's Valley tomb is KV 57. Now, it was excavated or rediscovered by Edward Arton. Remember Edward Arton? He was working for his patron Theodore Davis. And remember, Arton did most of the tomb rediscoveries in the Valley of the Kings. This was a different 18th dynasty tomb. Remember other 18th dynasty tombs, they had the descending passageway into an upper hall, and then a lower descending passageway going into a burial chamber which was offset to the west. Didn't happen here. This is a straight tomb. So it's got from the doorway to the sarcophagus is 84 meters. Wow, amazing. It wasn't completely finished. Not all the text and pictures were completely finished. Now, what's interesting is that year 7, Horemheb reformed the workers' village at Dela Medina. So maybe he found that their work rate was quite slow. He built this huge tomb. I think they did that in 7 years, because 7 years later he was buried in that tomb. So it's pretty amazing. It's one of the biggest tombs in the Valley of the Kings, but partially finished. And remember, again, there was a tradition in the 18th dynasty that you didn't start decorating until you finished cutting the tombs. And at this time, they're still rubbing down the walls flat. So they're mining out the tomb, and then you've got to smooth over those walls and ceilings before you can start putting magical pictures and writing on there. Amazing. That workload was amazing. Wow. It's definitely worth a visit. It's one of my favourites. and he was a great character. Now, he didn't have a son and successor, so he adopted one of his generals, who was going to be Ramesses I. So Ramesses I is the successor to Horemheb and the first king of the 19th dynasty. And with him comes his son Seti I and his grandson Ramesses II. So something to look forward to very, very soon.